Good evening and welcome to the Monday, October 20th City Council meeting. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item number 2 is to approve the minutes from the October 6th meeting.
Move to approve.
I'll second.
Jim?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Rick?
Yes.
John?
Yeah.
And Mary?
Yes. Item number 3 is hearing of public concerns. Okay, let's move on to number 4, Clerk-Treasurer report.
Council has received, for one thing, in September 30th, 2025, the normal monthly financial reports, bank reconciliations, and the like. And would entertain any questions you have now, or call me at any time. Any questions?
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
Rick?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
And Mary?
Yes. Item number 5 is an ordinance. John, please number and read.
Ordinance number 48, 2025, an ordinance providing for annual appropriations for the city of Bryan for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2025, and declaring an emergency. Council, I'll tell you, we would normally have a couple of the following resolutions in advance of this, so we got a little bit of a reverse order, but we're asking for the authority to spend money that has been donated to the parks. Ben?
You'll get the resolutions here in a minute, but we're just accepting donations for the amphitheater, and then also from the Rotary Foundation not the Rotary Foundation. What was my second
Hold
one?
on, I'm getting there.
Trees from...
Trees,
Oh, yeah,
BMU,
4,000
sorry.
from BMU.
$4,000 from Bryan Municipal Utilities for the continued support of the urban forest. And then the other one is for the amphitheater.
Which is $6,300 in
yeah,
donations.
$6,300 in donations, various donations. So,
The other piece is the appropriation of the police department's body worn camera grant.
I'll move to approve, or do we need to suspend?
Suspend that one.
I'll move to suspend.
Steve?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Rick?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes.
And I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
Jim?
Yes.
Rick?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
And Mary?
Yes. Item number 6 is a resolution. John, please number and read.
Resolution number 42, 2025, a resolution to accept a $4,000 donation from the Bryan Municipal Utilities to the Parks and Recreation Department for continued support with development of Bryan.
See, if I had that agenda up there, he would have known. So,
again, just real quickly, would like to thank BMU for their continued support. This is something they do annually. It helps us with Tree City USA, typically used in the street right-of-way to replace trees that are taken down during projects. Also, they do a lot of line clearing and things like that. Another reason why they help support with this money. So it goes right back into putting trees right back into the ground. So we're greatly appreciative of what they do annually to help us continue to develop the urban forest here in Bryan.
Would another example of this be the trees that were recently planted along Portland?
New trees, yeah, new street trees, yes, yep,
Right.
yep, roadways, things like that, so.
so they work really hard to not put them in the same places that they had to trim them for electric lines or take them down for certain things. So you'll see them pop up in other areas that maybe they weren't in before for that purpose. And this $4,000 does come right from the electric fund, not water communications. It's from the electric department, as they do a lot of trimming, and eventually that trimming causes us
Over
to
time.
take the tree down.
Yep. Thank you.
I'll move to suspend. Second.
Steve?
Yes.
Rick?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
And Mary?
Yes.
Move to approve.
Second.
John?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Rick?
Yes.
And Mary?
Yes.
Yes.
Item number 7 is a resolution. John, please number and read.
Resolution number 43, 2025, a resolution to accept a $6,300 donation from various sponsors for the Parks and Recreation Department for the Fountain City Amphitheater.
Again, as we mentioned before, just various donations for the amphitheater. Just because there may be that question, because John had asked me this, we start appropriating some of the money in this budget year because we will start booking acts. Down payments, things like that will be due yet this year to make sure that we have acts secured for the 2026 summer season. So that's why we go ahead and appropriate some of it now because we will start spending some of it to make sure we have our agenda booked and calendar booked for the 2026 summer season. Also, if anybody would like to be involved with sponsoring the amphitheater, contact the Fountain City Amphitheater or Bryan Parks and Rec. So, thank you.
Thanks. I'll move to suspend.
I'll second.
Steve?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Rick?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
And Mary?
Yes.
Move to approve.
I'll second.
John?
Yes.
I think Rick?
It was
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
And Mary?
Yes. Item number 8 is an ordinance. John, please number and read.
Ordinance number 49, 2025, an ordinance amending section 549.09 of the Bryan Codified Ordinances regarding firearms within the city limits.
Good evening, council.
Good evening.
This is just cleaning up an old ordinance we had on the books. It failed to mention rifles and firearms and such like that for discharging in town. It was already covered in a section under the ORC, but putting it in here just makes it easier for citizens to find, so.
And I read this like whenever it came last week, and I can't remember, but I know you're gonna know it like that. Does it also include like crossbow and stuff?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
got slingshot,
I
bow and
thought
arrow
so.
and things of that nature.
Thank you. I thought it was in there. Only because recently, that just occurred not too far away. Someone used a crossbow to shoot a domestic animal
Oh, okay. I was
in the
saying,
city?
in the city. Not our city.
Oh, okay.
No,
I was
no,
like,
no,
we
no.
had not heard
Let's
that.
say,
not familiar with
I
it.
told you it's a
Okay,
Presbyterian
I was like, in
Society.
a
If
city,
it was in
that's
our
where I
city.
was, yeah. So, we did get the question, I actually got the question, and I was texting the chief from a different location one day about, can someone use a crossbow for target practice in their own backyard? And the answer is yes, as long as they don't leave their property line with that bow
Sure.
and arrow. A firearm, though, is gonna leave your property line, so.
Well, this particular person said he swore it was a raccoon.
Either way.
It was a cat that looked nothing like a raccoon, but
Either way, like, we've got pretty clear restrictions on even that, and only with special permission.
thank you.
So,
I'll move to suspend.
Second.
Jim?
Yes.
John?
Yeah, yes.
Rick?
Yes.
Steve?
yes.
And Mary?
Yes.
I'll move to approve.
And I'll second.
Steve?
Yes.
Rick?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
And Mary?
Yes.
thank you.
Thank you. Item number 9 is an ordinance. John, please number and read.
Ordinance number 50, 2025, an ordinance authorizing the Clerk-Treasurer to issue change order number 1 and final for the project known as Autumn Chase Phase 4 improvements.
All right, we're wrapping up projects for the year. This project unfortunately was a small ad. There was a little bit of extra work added. $3,726.37 raised the total project to $463,679.42. Now this project, if you remember, this will be assessed to the properties on there. So once this is done, we won't be able to certify this until next September due to the timing and whatnot, because so it won't be actually put on the properties until 27, but we're actually going to work with some other things here and do some tax redirections and whatnot that we'll be talking about over the next few months on that, but another topic. But either way, I would like to request you suspend the rules and approve this change order so we can close this project out.
I do have a question.
Yes, sir.
There's a reference in here about tap fees. That's us tapping into our already existing
Well,
lines.
I don't know if it's a tap fee, but it was a tap.
Okay,
So it's the project where they ran a sanitary main, and we added a couple of extra taps, sanitary
Okay.
taps, a couple extra storm taps, that maybe, see, our office didn't design these plans. Gary Welling had his engineer design them, so there was a couple things that we added in the field that caused a couple extra adds and a few things we took off, so.
okay.
to be in compliance with something? I suppose.
Well, to make sure that.
Fi-
this
Field changes, yeah.
Could connect to our sewer.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Yeah. Like, there were 2 lots that he didn't have storm taps to, because he thought that the water would just drain to the rear yard and go to a catch basin, and we didn't like that. We wanted the tap in the main, so that people could put their downspouts directly in, so just things like that.
Okay.
thanks.
Well, I'll move to suspend.
Second,
Jim?
Yes.
John?
yes.
Rick?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes,
And Mary?
Yes.
and I'll move to approve.
Second.
Steve?
Yes.
Rick?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
And Mary?
Yes. Item number 10 is an ordinance. John, please number and read.
Could I ask a question real
Yeah.
quick? Could we lump 10 and 11 together due to redundancy? They're both decreases in projects.
No.
They're different
No.
projects.
They're different,
Okay.
yeah. One does.
Otherwise, I would have, I promise. Anything I could have short worked last week, I would have done.
You do want me to get done in 15 minutes, don't you?
I'll be brief.
Ordinance number 51, 2025, an ordinance authorizing the clerk-treasurer to issue change order number 2 and final for the project known as WIL CR 502-0.37 West South Sidewalk.
Only someone from Defiance would define it that way.
No. That's not he, it wasn't him. Only someone from Defiance would define it that way.
$5,524 deduct from the project. Net was $246,690. Just reminding everybody, 95% of these eligible items will be refunded from the state of Ohio through ODOT, through a grant we received. Now, a couple items are not eligible, just a $275 ad. We did some, what's called MS concrete, which is fast set for F&M Bank's driveway to get them open quickly. So a couple things won't be covered under the grant, but it's minor. So we anticipate getting basically 95% of that money back in funds. So I would request you suspend the rules and approve this, and we'll get this closed out.
I'll move to suspend.
I'll second.
I do have a question.
Oh, I'm
Yes, sir.
sorry.
Sorry. And I ask this not because I don't know, but because it was brought up to me and I wanted to make sure I gave a correct answer. A couple folks along the east side of South Street, they well, is the sidewalk coming this way?
No, sir.
And I told them that the answer is no, because it wasn't part of
So there was
the
a,
grant.
for the
Is that an
record-
incorrect answer?
for the record, there was a study done by, or through the Ohio Department of Transportation for safe routes to school. And several streets were looked at, several passed to school. I mean, Fountain Grove Drive was looked at. Mr. Betts has had a passion on Fountain Grove Drive to get sidewalks on there. Very limited number of students there. They didn't warrant the number of students to have sidewalks go there. And once you get east of South Main Street, that's outside the 1 mile scope of the distance of the school, so therefore it doesn't qualify for the grant. So I saw the social media posts where, well, the city should pay to do this. Well, the city's not paying to do this.
Which merited the question that was
The
asked.
ci-
of
the
me,
city is
so-
not, the city is paying 5% of this. You know, the city's not paying for it. 95% of these funds are from
ODOT.
ODOT through a Safe Routes to School grant. And the Safe Routes to School grant came from a study that the state dictated based on transportation needs. They looked at, they counted students that walked. They polled students. They looked at bicycle, people that rode bikes, people that walk. I mean, the book was this thick on the study that it was insane.
It was over a year and a half long.
Yeah, it was crazy what all they did. And there was even a grant that did education at the school, I think a $20,000 grant that helped educate the kids on how to get to school safer with part of this. So, short answer, no, it will not be going east of South Street, and no, the city didn't pay for this. It's 95% through a grant.
So my answer of that it wasn't part of the grant is an accurate statement.
Yeah.
And it will not be part of the grant
Okay.
because it's outside the 1 mile radius.
All right.
Yep,
Thank you for that.
absolutely.
Appreciate it.
We completed the entire study that we had done for Safe Routes to School,
Yep.
so.
Thanks.
Yep,
It's a great addition.
It is.
it is.
It's awesome.
So on the motion to suspend, I have John
Yeah,
And
and
Rick.
Rick. John,
still on.
Rick.
Yep.
Jim,
Yes.
Steve.
Yes.
And Mary.
Yes.
Move to approve?
I'll second.
Steve,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
Rick,
Yes.
John.
Yes.
And Mary.
Yes. Item number 11 is ordinance. John, please number and read.
Ordinance number 52, 2025, an ordinance authorizing the clerk-treasurer to issue change order number 1 and final for the project known as 2024 South Myers Street Sanitary Sewer Replacement.
Same thing as above, $9,655 deduct. This was a long project, took almost a year from start to finish. $810,000, $760 complete cost. We will get $275,000 back from Ohio Public Works. So this was a grant we had applied for 2 years ago, and we're finally completing the project. So once we get this change order done and get all the checks back, I can apply to get that money back, and hopefully we can get that done by the end of the year to keep Mr. Leonard's books clean. So I would request you suspend the rules and approve.
I'll move to suspend.
Steve?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Rick?
Yes.
John?
Yeah,
Mary?
Yes.
Move to approve.
second,
Rick?
Yes.
John?
yes,
Jim?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Yes. Item number 12, an ordinance. John, please number and read.
Ordinance number 53, 2025, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with Vernon Mauer Incorporated for the project known as 2025 South Walnut Area Sanitary Sewer Improvements.
$408,000 project. It's going to replace sanitary sewer in the alleys. Basically, it runs from Circle K in the alleys north, about up to East Wilson Street. We're going to replace rear yard sewers in there. Again, they're old clay sewers, bad infiltration. We will repave the alleys in there as well when we're done. We did apply for Ohio Public Works for this a year ago, and it was approved. We will get, 43.8% of the project back, up to $175,000. So we'll get $175,000 back on the project.
starting, I mean,
I don't know. Completion date is July.
okay.
So, maybe they can get rolling on it, maybe not. We'll see. I would anticipate they'd start maybe over the winter, but they won't pave till May.
Right.
You said from Circle K north to?
North to probably East Wilson Street, in that area. That's 3 or 4 blocks. I think there was one block we'd already redone a few years ago as an emergency in there, so south of Perry, but there's 3 or 4 blocks in there for sure we're doing.
I don't know how much people outside Bryan know what these kinds of things mean, not just the grants that y'all get for it to help Bryan, but I don't need to name cities. There are a couple of cities not far from us that are in deep doo-doo because of not separating sanitary, and I mean deep doo-doo with the state of Ohio. So I just want to commend our community, you specifically and your staff, for keeping us on top of things before we are forced to do things that are going to cost millions of dollars and the taxpayers a lot of money that they are not going to be happy about.
Well, unfortunately, the separation was done in 1978, and we're still redoing
Still
it.
redoing.
So,
Well, that's okay.
redoing it, redoing what wasn't done right,
There are
so,
cities that haven't even done it.
yeah. And this isn't really a separation, this is just,
It's to
there's,
get rid of the clay tiles.
yeah,
that
right, this is
have
to
leaks.
fix infiltration, so.
Well, I'm going to suspend.
I'll second.
Jim?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Rick?
Yes.
John?
Yes,
And Mary?
Yes.
move to approve.
And I'll second.
John?
Yes,
Rick?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
And Mary?
Yes. Then item number 14 is a liquor permit.
No, 13.
13.
Did I miss 13? Sorry. Number 13 is a resolution. John, please number and read.
Resolution number 44, 2025, a resolution authorizing the clerk-treasurer to advertise for bids for the project known as 2025 Lincoln Park Sanitary Sewer Improvements.
$530,000 estimated cost, and we are going to repave the alley. This will be, again, where Lincoln Park is, north side of the old Lincoln School site there. Again, clay sanitary sewer in there, leaking sanitary taps. We got water infiltration in there. So this was a project we were planning on doing, but it was a project that I thought could wait until next year if we had to. We saved one project for the end of the year in case I run short on money. Fortunately, we had enough money left, and we had a few change orders with deducts, so we've got enough money, so let's bid it and get it done.
I'm for it, so I'll move to suspend.
I'll second.
John?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Rick?
Yes.
And Mary?
Yes.
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
Rick?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
And Mary?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, item number 14, a liquor permit.
Yes, council, again, this was mailed to us from the Liquor Control Division in the state of Ohio. It is for a new liquor permit for CVS. It's a C2, which by definition allows the sale of wine and mixed beverages in sealed containers for a carry-out purpose. So that's what they're hoping to add. All you are going to do is a motion to either waive the hearing or have one here locally, if you have any
I
questions.
asked the same thing pretty much. every
Motion
time.
to waive?
No, that's, I asked
okay.
that too.
Yeah.
Then there's like X number of permits, right?
Yeah, so this has been a little confusing to me because it did not come in as a Trex. So someone must have relinquished their permit in the city and they were able to apply for
That's what
another one.
So this is not, that's
The
what's
Trex.
confusing me. It's not it's a new one,
Yes.
but it's an existing one from someone else.
That's the only thing I could find online, yes, because I researched it, because if it would have been a new one from a different community, it would have had that Trex economic development tag to it.
I'm always,
But I'm going
Oh.
to proceed with caution on that, because we literally got one in the mail today, and it was addressed to a Bryan business, well, for you guys for a Bryan business, and when I emailed the attorney back, it was for a Columbus business. So
oh,
the state of Ohio has changed their application, and it is all on this portal. So I'm proceeding with caution that it's not a Trex, because it's nowhere on this form, and that someone let theirs lapse, but it could be.
well, I'm always a little, that's why I ask all the time. I'm always a little leery that we're gonna either
Get too
step
many.
someone's toes or run out of permit capability, and then someone's gonna wanna come in and sell Buffalo Trace or whatever, and we're not gonna be able to have that, so.
Yeah, so when we did the economic development two that we did, for Swanson and Riddies,
Yes,
it said TREX in the type where this says N for new.
oh, okay,
That's what I could find.
okay.
So
Okay,
you can have the hearing locally and ask that question if you want, or you can waive it. We've never had one before, it could be interesting.
I'll motion to waive the hearing.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Jim?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Rick?
Yes.
John?
I should vote no just to be contrary, but I won't, because
You know, everyone gets a vote, Mr. Betts, you can
that's,
do what you
no,
like.
it's also a vote of stupidity. If I want to know, I can inquire directly. So, yes.
Good luck, I couldn't get anyone on the phone.
That concludes the items on our agenda. We'll go around the room. Mayor?
I do have one thing. I just wanted to thank Mr. Hoopy and Chief Poole. Last Tuesday on the 14th, we named the city date of October 14th as Zoe Kelly Heroism Day. Thank you for the coverage for the papers. Really appreciated that. Zoe is a really sweet individual, and it was a very nice evening that she could share with her friends, coworkers, and some local elected officials. So we did deliver a proclamation on behalf of the city, and also Jim Hoops will be mailing her one on behalf of the State House of Representatives. Unfortunately, he was in Columbus that evening, so he couldn't get back. So just want to again thank Zoe for her bravery going in and saving Glenn from the smoke and making sure she got the fire department out there as soon as she could. So this was a special evening in Bryan.
You're here.
John? Department heads?
Wes is going now.
Super quick, just a reminder, Saturday, November 1st will be trick or treat here in the city. The Parks and Recreation Department will have their community Halloween party at the ice rink from 2 to 4. And then trick or treat in the city will be from 5 to 7. So be careful
Thank you.
on that day. Thank you.
Anyone else? Chief?
Just real quick, I don't want to forget the boys on Greystone either.
Yeah, so
Oh, yeah.
I did something a little different for them, but, yeah, we had 4 high school boys that
Yeah.
were trying to wake up neighbors that they thought were in a burning home. The female occupant of the home ended up calling our dispatch and saying, hey, someone's breaking into my home, here's my address, and they're like, no, ma'am, your house is on fire, are you there? And they were in North Carolina, so, yeah, we did, I showed up at a soccer practice because 3 of the boys were on the soccer team and did a little something that was a little less formal since they're minors, but I think probably a little more meaningful to them than a piece of paper that it's probably.
So there were no
on.
smoke detectors or alarms?
No, there were, but no one was home. So the
Oh,
boys came, they, believe it or not, one of them suffers from insomnia, so he had woke the rest of them up at 4:30 in the morning to go on a run. And so they were out in the neighborhood running and saw the smoke coming from the home and were worried that Carol and Steve were in the house. So they were trying to throw rocks at the home, they were screaming at windows. We did have a couple guys from the street department that were going to get the street sweeper for the Fall Fest and heard it come over the radio, so they ran in, and Dick Shaw and Kevin Temple, who hate to be mentioned, Kevin busted open a deadbolted door with his shoulder, and was able to gain entry into the home, and Dick was banging also, as the boys were, and during that time, Carol was calling our dispatch. We had a reserve fireman that was in the neighborhood too, who ran down there, and then the trucks came. So, the Remans are going to rebuild, which we're really happy to keep them in our community, but there was extensive damage to the home as well. So, it's been a busy time for the fire department, for all the departments, but it seems like my 911 app goes off more frequently these days. Not that one, not whatever your radio's on.
No, that's not ours, so.
Do you
Anyone
guys
else?
have any questions for us?
What's that?
Do you have any questions for us?
No.
Anybody? Okay.
Wes, to give us an update.
I do have one more thing. Wesley,
And it looks like there's some stuff going on over there.
there's a lot of stuff going
Yeah,
on
it looks
over there.
nice.
It's coming. Got a ways to go, but
Good.
yeah.
Yeah. So we do have another thing. Our next council meeting will actually be Tuesday, November 4th, because of Ready, Set, Relax, that we honor that the school does a night with the family. What's that? Did I not get that right?
No, you said it's
Tuesday, November 4th.
Election Day. That's what's going to be my butt there.
It's okay, maybe Brian Whelan will take it easy on me and we'll keep
I'll be
it
continuing it all day, so.
shorter.
I'd
Well,
rather
that
be
doesn't
here.
mean the week before you won't have a lot of things.
So I got it all in a day.
So I will say too, next week, some of us are going to be attending Mr. Odell's class and speaking to students. And I don't know if I think it's this week, I'm going to be in a first grade class talking about what the city does. So we are still doing all of that community service as well and getting out to the students as we are invited.
Wonderful.
Anything else, department heads? Newspapers, I didn't forget you this time. Okay. Can I have a motion to adjourn, please?
So moved?
I'll second.
Steve,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
Rick,
Yes.
John.
Yes.
Yes.